Joan, who are we?
We are Windmill Sewing Center, Quilters HQ, and Sewing Machines Express. The websites are windmillsewingcenter.com, quiltershq.com, and QHQ2.com. We do this every Tuesday from 6 to 7 Central. Okay.
Can't say I didn't try.
So block 29. This is kind of a cheater feather star, which is kind of cute. Hang on to this pattern. It is out there to download now. I've already cut it out, and I did some pre-layout. This is basically a 16 patch when you're sewing it together, but I laid out all of my pieces because I really don't want to mess up my colors on this, and it would be very easy to do that. So I recommend that you lay out your pieces. Can they see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So just lay out your blocks so you're making this basic shape, but I wanted to lay them out with the colors so I don't mix up the colors. You know how I tend to do that. And then I'm just going to start piecing these together. So let's get started. And I'm just doing half square triangles. Yeah, all of them. And I did go through and put all of my triangles right side up, so that when I'm just chain piecing all of these, they're in the right orientation. So we need an emoji for a hangover. Not an alcohol hangover. So somebody comment if you've ever had a sugar hangover, because I'm telling you, they're the worst. I think they're worse than regular alcohol hangovers. So we had this great idea that we would have pancakes for dinner last night, breakfast for dinner. I know I'm not the only one that does that.
Because we haven't had them for like how long? It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Probably a year and a half or more.
And we don't eat a lot of sugar to begin with. But man, all day, I felt like when I got up this morning, I felt like I'd been partying for like 3 days with a headache and just kind of, ugh.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
So I was really kind
Moving a little slow?
Icky this morning.
She was just moving slow.
I was moving slow and feeling icky about the hangover.
Okay, Patsy, that's a good one. It's a.
Do we have a good hangover emoji?
I think that's, yeah, it's throwing up there.
Oh.
Whatever that is.
Didn't do that.
Joan doesn't throw up.
I will do anything not to do that.
She's like Seinfeld. She's not gonna throw up no matter what. Here's get the green face.
The green face?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that kind. It was more like the headache.
Yeah, don't skip your coffee. That's a good point, Ruth. I never skip my coffee. Carb hangover. Yes, that's really what it was.
Yeah. Sugar hangover.
I think we were tired about, what, 8 o'clock?
Yeah, I was working on the pattern for the AccuQuilt Club, sitting at my computer, doing layout, and just yawning.
Pecking corn.
Like... So maybe no more pancakes for dinner. You need the whole day to burn that off and not go to bed.
They're so good, though.
Huh? They are good.
They were really good.
They were really good, for sure. Okay, I'm trying not to turn my pieces around. So now I'm going to just attach these here.
Got a pancake emoji.
A pancake emoji.
Thanks, Patsy. Carrie's looks like it has bats coming out of it or something.
Yeah, the pancakes just did me wrong. They were really good, though. and we had bacon, and I was dipping the bacon in the syrup because
Because you got to do it.
You got to do it.
It's just part of it.
It's like extra maple flavored bacon.
That's a good one, Beverly. Bacon.
Who doesn't like bacon? Bacon's good. I like bacon. Although I don't know what they're doing to the pigs now because there's like no fat on the bacon. Like, you know.
Looks a little lean.
Well, I don't know. So when I was a kid, well, not when I'm a kid, I still love biscuits and gravy, right? And so we would make bacon fat gravy. So you could cook the sausage and then cook up some bacon in the pan, and you would have enough fat to make gravy out of it. And now you don't anymore. You have to add butter to make gravy from your sausage fat. Are you going to talk about your kitty cam?
Well, it's not really a cam, though.
We should get her a cam.
It would be funny. We had to put an air tag on the cat.
So most of you know we moved recently. And right after we moved, Lana, Robert's cat, is kind of an indoor-outdoor cat. So she likes to go outside and catch the crickets and chase the rabbits, and she's not successful very much, but she occasionally brings a mouse home. So she got out, and then she was missing, and we were just heartbroken because she was missing for 8 days? 9 days, something like that, roughly, a long time. Yeah. And so I was searching online, looking for all of these, how do I find my missing cat, checking all of the shelters and things like that. And finally I made up a sign. I was going to hang it on the mailbox. And one of the websites that I visited said you have to actually go out and look for your cat. They won't just come back. And she had actually, it's new construction in the area, and she had gotten herself trapped, and she hadn't been there the whole time.
But she was probably in there 3 or 4 days.
She was in there a couple days for sure. And so in the new house that was just kind of framed in, it wasn't completely built, but they had installed the
ductwork, really, and the furnace, but not all of the furnace.
So she had gotten herself trapped down into this furnace. So we waited until night, like the article said. We're walking around this neighborhood, and I'm yelling, Lana! People are looking at me like, who's this? Who's Lana?
Did you lose your kid?
And so I walked up partially the way they drive, because it's not, I don't think it was a paved, they had laid the driveway. And I heard this
still been rocked, but
horrible howling. And at first I thought it was, I didn't think it was her. I just heard something, but couldn't really determine where it was coming from. We're going to sew these together.
Hey, Dorothy, how are you tonight?
So I walked up into the house, into the garage area, and hollered for her, and she was in there, and she was trapped. So now Lana has to wear an air tag. And they shipped it to Robert and said, you cannot use these on people.
You can't wear a people air tag. But if you've never seen one before, there's a little spot in there where you can hit play sound. And I was like, well, that's odd. And I clicked on it. And then, of course, this thing starts chiming and making all these noises. And she's laying in her bed and she pops up. What the heck's going on? Who turned on the polka band?
So anyway, Lana is no worse for wear. She's back home.
Yeah, that was a day later.
Yeah. Yeah, she was back to normal like in the next day. And so we wanted to get an air tag on her because she is older, and I know cats have a good sense of direction, but it sure would have made it a lot easier for us to find her. And she is a pretty good kitty, and you know. Our old neighbor used to capture her for a couple of days at a time.
Yeah, there was a custody battle.
But she does like being out, and we don't really want to stifle that for her. So, air tag, that's the solution we came up with. I was telling Robert we should get a camera and hang around her neck so that people could watch where she's off to, what she's doing. I love cat videos. They're funny. If I'm in a bad mood, I can watch a few cat videos and then I'm laughing because they're so silly. And Lana is no exception to her silliness and shenanigans.
Yeah, Catherine said her daughter had a blind cat that got out and got terrified. Yeah, those air tags are not super expensive, and they make a little cat collar that looks like a watch, really.
Yeah, it
band
does.
almost, but it's elastic and it just fits right in there. So. And it has a little bell. It comes with a little bell, too.
That's more for the birds to give them a fighting chance. Somebody called cats God's perfect predator.
She does like to play.
She does like to play. She hasn't brought any presents here in a while, so she's getting older, though.
Takes a lot more naps now. Sounds pretty good. Well, tell us a little bit about what you guys have been working on. Kind of moving into August here. It's back to school time, and
Yep.
probably got grandkids or kids going back to school. Your cat went crazy when she put the bell on her. Yeah, they do get a little...
Rambunctious?
Yeah, a little bit. Gave her a catnip banana the other day.
Oh, she was
That was pretty funny.
That.
I didn't realize she could jump that high.
And she's so subtle, too. Like, you know, when she's ready to be petted, there's nothing you're going to do except pet her.
She'll walk on your keyboard. She'll walk on your sewing machine. She don't care. Tried to take the fabric out of the thing the other day.
Yeah, she did. I was putting stuff away. I still have a step stool up in my sewing room. And she hopped up on that. And I have just the Billy bookcases from IKEA to store my fabric in. And so she's up there just pulling fabric off the shelf. Trying to make a little nest. I don't know if she wanted to get in the shelf and needed to make room, or she was making herself a little nest on the floor. But
or she was picking colors out to make a quilt. I don't know.
And so I yelled at her. I'm like, Lana. And she just looks over at me like, what?
I'm busy.
Can't you see I'm doing something here?
So Patsy's trying her hand at some wool applique.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, make a lot of cool stuff with wool.
Are you doing it by hand or by machine?
Ruth's working on a panel for a wall hanging, quilting around each flower. Okay, yeah. Those always make it look so pretty when you quilt around the flowers on the panels.
Yep. think we just got a new fabric in that had that window panel.
I don't know. They might have put them up front.
They might have. I saw a web order for it. So, just came out. We did get some new cute kids fabric too for baby quilts. I want to say thank you to everybody that came and visited us for the open house for our 1-year anniversary at this location. Got to see some people that I haven't seen in a while.
Is it the Adele summer panels?
It's really floral. I don't think that's it. I think it's an in the beginning fabric. Okay. Lay these back down so I don't do this in the wrong order.
So Patsy said it's going to be a little bit of a combo, a little machine, maybe a little bit of hand applique embroidery.
Yep, okay.
Kathy was at the fair. Grand champion on my Everett's Cottage by OESD. Congratulations. That is such a beautiful, when that is done, it's amazing. Congratulations. That's awesome.
I don't know when they're starting, but they're doing that one as a sew-along in the Springfield store.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun making that. The Santa one's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the OESD stuff is really beautiful.
Burnett has the new Yaya Han embroidery machine out, and it's $29.95, $29.99.
I don't know, you get the software with it.
And you get really big hoops too.
So she said she put rhinestones all over it as added features. That's a pretty cool idea.
That is a really cool idea.
Well, congratulations, Beverly. Her grandson got a job in his field as an archaeologist.
Nice.
Kathy, you got to post some pictures. Send us some pictures of that. That sounds like it was pretty amazing.
Yep.
Grand champion.
Nice.
The top honor.
Okay. Get some of these. We're going to go this way. So this is one you just take your time with, this block. It's not overly complicated, but I think it would be pretty easy to mess up, and that's why I did all of this layout in advance so that I'm not going to hopefully mess up.
So we just have the one more block on this one?
One more block and then a finishing. But that's just piecing it together. There is a border, so we're not going to do a show for the finishing.
And this next project, that's the one you're done with it? So the next one? The layout?
The one I'm working on is
The next one we're doing on the show?
the one I'm working on right now is for the club. The one I'm working on for the show, I do have the design, but I still have to make the pattern. Best thing ever.
Yeah, a good chair is Bernadine said it was harder to sew. Her back's hurting. Yeah, I mean, a good chair is so valuable.
I have two in my sewing room. I have the Arrow chair, and then I have the Bernina chair. And honestly, I alternate between the two of them.
I think it's good to do that. I love that little lumbar chair, but every now and then my back will hurt just being in it. So,
yeah.
Ruth just finished a Kimberbell bench pillow for the holidays. Nice.
Nice.
Working on block 11, AccuQuilt makes a big difference. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And this next one will be AccuQuilt for sure.
Which one?
The one, the show one?
Oh, yeah, the next project that we're doing, not that.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were saying the next block.
Oh.
I am finding that my pieced pieces are just a little bit smaller than, here I'll sew the rest of these and then show you, are a little bit smaller than the blocks that are not pieced, the pieces that are not pieced. I don't know if I said that very well. Okay, now I got it. The pieced half square triangle seems a little bit smaller than the unpieced half square triangle. So what I'm doing is lining this up so that the corners up here match. And just working that shortage into the seam. See there. Yeah, so you can kind of see how it's a little bit bigger, and then I'm pressing towards that unpieced portion. But if I make a comparison, so this is our corner blocks. Piecing it that way makes it the same size as our corner blocks. And more confetti. Do we have anybody new tonight?
Don't know. Ruth asked if you could post block 30 as well. If you have it.
I do. Kind of reluctant to do that because I think if we do, people are going to be calling and telling me they didn't get their kit yet.
Will they be able to cut out kits next week?
Yeah, they could do that.
So that way they'd be ready for shipping.
Last little section of 4.
Yeah, I think the airfill boxes came in.
They did. So if you were
Thread of the Month Club.
waiting for one of those, they did come in. We still have some back-ordered ones that need to be picked up, too. Still working on getting my sewing room put together.
Getting closer, though.
Yeah. I got distracted by a project, though, an old one.
Bird, squirrel,
Well, you know.
UFO.
Yeah. I see UFOs in my sewing room all the time. Is there an organization that's reported to? Used to be the Air Force.
An unidentified fabric object.
Yeah.
It's reported to the sewing group. Report for finishing.
It's an old project. It's a block of the month that we did here, and it is one of my designs as well. Okay, there it goes. I'm like, okay, where did these get out to? Not an AccuQuilt pattern, but it could be. There's some applique in it, though. I'm gonna cut one of these and make sure I'm sewing this on the right side. Okay. This might be our no whammy block.
No.
And that piece goes like this. Oops, I guess I better trim off the confetti because it won't work with my little guide attached. Okay. What is that? Are you watching the video on your phone?
Yeah, I was seeing if you can see it.
What are we seeing?
Oh, Hey, Amber, how are you tonight?
Hi, Amber.
Hey, Lana. This block has a lot of pieces.
Does
Yeah, it
have
does
some
have a lot of
pieces.
pieces in it.
It's kind of like a cheater feathered star.
Hey, Kitty, how are you tonight?
More confetti.
More confetti.
Yeah, confetti.
Woohoo!
Isn't that what it looks like?
It does. Save it up for the Super Bowl and shoot it out of the little gun.
No.
Little potato.
I don't want to vacuum all that. Again, we are lining up the outside corners of our block, not the edges. So outside corners, not these edges. Because these pieced half square triangles turned out to be a little bit smaller than the half square triangles that are just cut. Okay, so now we are ready to start assembling our block. I'm going to lay it out for you and then we'll piece this together. A 16 patch, it should go pretty quick. I suppose you could save all of your little confetti and do something with it. Stuffing in a toy.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert, I'm probably going to need your help for this layout. So, we've got the pink blocks go in the center. Like that. And then they'd all get one of these. Like that. And then that goes, nope.
here. And then it's just the corners.
And corners.
Alright, so we got
Okay, so pink, 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 dark pink, dark pink, dark pink, and dark pink. That looks right.
yeah, it does. I think all we got to do is sew them together. Find a confetti file.
It's under here.
File 13.
Yep. You don't want to save
Not
it
much
for the,
waste though.
You don't want to save it for the Super Bowl?
Man, we'll have to save a lot, wouldn't we?
That means I
How
would
long you
have
been
to do
saving? Oh, I don't know, 14 Super Bowls.
a lot of sewing.
Mix it with catnip and stuff it in the little kitty store. Okay.
See?
Now
That's how
things
creative
are coming
quilters
together.
are.
That's what this group does. Just comes up with ideas. They put it in clear bulbs for ornaments. Oh, yeah. I've seen that. That's good. Amber likes the block. Lots of pieces make a pretty block.
Yep. Lots of pieces are good for fabrics you don't really like.
Didn't you say you could, if you don't like the fabric, you can just keep making it smaller and smaller and smaller until you like it?
Yep. If you don't like it, you haven't cut it small enough.
Now there's a philosophy for you.
Might need to make a half-inch strip quilt, but we made a log cabin out of a panel that the colors in it were pretty, but you know, the panel itself was just kind of okay.
Double check that one.
Yep, that's right. Oop, more confetti.
Someone asked if I sew. I ruler work when I do my, I'm in class. I'll have to sew next week for sure, so.
This is our first brother convention in person.
Yeah. Kathy, you can just send it to support@quiltershq.com and Molly can post it so people can see it.
What did you make?
She got the Grand
Oh, the
Master.
Grand Master.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, Amy, how are you tonight? You got some wrapping around there. You got some wrapping.
Oh, it's stuck on my feed dog. My feed dogs are hungry. Didn't the guys come over and service all the machines? Sounds like they did.
Yeah. I think we did them all.
Okay, let's press these all in one direction. Like the band, One Direction. I can't think of any songs that they did though.
Yeah, wherever. Molly gave some blood yesterday, so she's
Nice, Molly.
she's got lack of blood hangover. Yeah.
I was feeling it yesterday.
Yeah, you do. It's kind of like, it feels like I've been drained or something.
How is your niece and sister?
They're good.
Hey, Jackie, how are you?
Getting a new car.
Yes. Sure, that one probably didn't make it, huh?
Okay.
This is coming together. This looks pretty nice, too.
Yeah. Feather stars are not the easiest quilt to make. But AccuQuilt has a die for that now, so I can't really say that anymore. Oops, did I go the wrong way? I did go the wrong way. That's okay.
You can just repress.
You can just repress with this tool.
That's a special feature of that tool.
Yeah, it's not like you have to go iron it straight and
It's repressible. Repressible.
Reciprocity, is that what that's called?
Reciprocity?
Reciprocity? No, I did it right the first time. Nope, that's right.
Jackie said she's just vegging. Sometimes that's a good feeling.
Sometimes that's all you're capable of. And that's okay. Take all the time you need. Because when you come out of that veg state, you're more creative, you're more energetic.
So Amy had a question.
Okay.
You don't pin your blocks. Is that just an experience thing, or is that just a type of blocks where you just don't pin because it's small fabric cuts?
Okay. So sometimes I pin, sometimes most of the time I don't. My allergies are itching me. Sorry, you had to watch that. So when I'm piecing my rows together like this, I typically don't pin because my seams are nesting. So, don't want to do that. And so when they're nesting, I have this is a 3.5 inch square. So 3 1/4 when it's pieced on one side. So I'm only sewing 3 1/4 inches without lining up my block. So I don't really feel the need to pin there. But that being said, sometimes I do pin. And if I was doing a really long row, so say the pineapple sampler quilt that we made in Go Club, I did pin those because it was a 84-inch quilt and it was pieced on the diagonal, so that was like 102 inches, something like that, from corner to corner, and that's a lot to kind of try and line up as you're going. So those I did, but the shorter corners where there's only 8 or 10 blocks, I didn't. So it is just an experience or preference thing. But rather than pin, there is a product that I like. It's Acorn Precision Piecing Glue. And everywhere you would put a pin, you just put a dot of glue, and it is literally just a dot. And then set your iron on it, and that way you don't have to worry about sewing over pins on your sewing machine. Because there's potential for damage if you hit your pin, break your needle, and that gets lost, mess up your bobbin case, all that fun stuff. So I like the glue more than pinning. Does that answer your question? Woohoo!
This one looks pretty cool.
It is a pretty cool block. And No whammies.
No whammies.
There's
Amy
the
said
finished,
thanks.
finished block.
Yeah, that came out really cool with the fabrics.
Yeah.
That look really good in a blue and a yellow too.
Teal.
Yeah, a teal. Yeah. I like that.
So perfect. So as always,
Yeah, this came right down. No show next week.
no show next week, right? We are traveling.
Um,
We'll have new
hopefully, we'll
things
be able
talk
to get
about
the
with brother.
kits cut so that those can get out for the last one and
Last one.
get to start that next project and hopefully have some fun stuff to talk about and some products to show. Really want to grow the viewership. We've got some work to do.
Yep.
So, but we appreciate all of your support.
And as always, check your thread path, change your needle, and oil your hook.
Yes, please.
Solves a lot of problems.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you tomorrow.